Welcome to the Living with Narcissists podcast, where the first recommendation is don't. But unfortunately, that's not always possible. So this is your haven for validation, insight, strategies, and resources. So let's get started.
Welcome, I'm Carrie, and this is the Living with Narcissists podcast. In today's episode, we'll talk about maturity. People throw that word around a lot, but what does it mean to be truly mature? Maturity can be described as a level of mental development and wisdom that provides the ability to behave mentally and emotionally in a way that's becoming of an adult. However, maturity is not determined by age, but rather by how a person responds to different life situations. Some signs of maturity are emotional maturity, which means that you're able to take responsibility for yourself, manage and regulate your emotions, and be empathetic to yourself and others. Emotionally mature people are also able to recognize and share their feelings and resolve conflicts. Intelligence. Mature people are able to learn from experience and make informed decisions. Mature people have healthy relationships. They can form and maintain healthy relationships. They also are able to communicate openly and respectfully with others. Mature people have resilience and can manage stress in healthy ways and remain optimistic. Mellody, a licensed independent substance abuse counselor, as well as a lecturer and author of books regarding codependence, asserts that maturity is the primary symptom of codependence. Childhood trauma causes immaturity because it arrests emotional development. That is why sometimes, when interacting with a narcissist, it can feel like you're dealing with a toddler, even though you're looking at a full grown adult. When my husband and I got married, we were only 22 and 23. So, needless to say, we were immature, as many young adults. After 10 years of marriage, I thought to myself, I have matured so much over the last 10 years, and my husband has barely budged. When will he catch up to me? 30 years later, and there has not been much maturation on his part. However, due to my own maturation, I am better able to deal with his immaturity in a healthier manner. Mellody is a pioneer in the field of codependence recovery and is known as one of the prominent authorities in the field of addiction and relationships. Her work on codependency, boundaries, and the effects of childhood trauma on emotional development have profoundly influenced the treatment of addictions and the issues of forming and maintaining relationships. The model of developmental immaturity can be traced back to its creator, Mellody. In the 1970s, while working at the Meadows, she encountered an increasing number of patients who identified less than nurturing or abusive family systems in their childhood, leading to adulthood behaviors of codependency. She is the person who figured out that alcoholism is not the only codependent behavior that can develop due to childhood trauma. Her first book, entitled Facing Codependence: What It Is, Where It Comes From, How It Sabotages Our Lives. This is a great first read, as she explains codependence, forensically outlining every detail of the process and the techniques that allow personal transformation among patients suffering from attachment disorders due to the effects of childhood trauma. Emotionally immature parents are afraid of emotional intimacy and often pull back or resist genuine emotional closeness. Why? Because they had parents that were emotionally immature and were afraid of emotional intimacy and pulled back and resisted genuine emotional closeness. So nobody knows how to be intimate and nobody knows how to teach their children how to obtain emotional intimacy. That's why we go to therapy and read and learn and listen, so we can learn as an adult what it means to be mature and what it means to be emotionally intimate and close with another human being. So, what are the traits of immaturity? According to the book, Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents, written by Lindsay Gibson, key categories of immature behaviors are self-centeredness, focusing primarily on their own needs and desires without considering the impact on others, always bringing conversations back to themselves regardless of the topics. Emotional dysregulation, difficulty managing emotions, low stress tolerance, and low frustration tolerance causes them to overreact to small issues, and instead of using healthy coping mechanisms, they deny, distort, or replace reality. They are prone to displays of impulsive behavior, lack of accountability, denying responsibility, inability to admit mistakes. They never do anything wrong. I've heard that a million times. Frequently blaming others, which is also called blame shifting. They deny and distort reality to avoid responsibility. Poor communication skills. They invalidate the feelings of others, also called being dismissive. They do not actively listen, which is another way to be dismissive because nothing you have to say is worth listening to, of course. And they also use manipulative control tactics instead of direct communication. They have an inability to empathize, so they have difficulty understanding and responding to the emotions of other people. They have unrealistic expectations. They expect others to cater to their needs, and they don't respect other people's boundaries. Some specific examples of immature behaviors: playing the victim, always portraying themselves as the one being wronged. Gaslighting, denying reality or twisting situations to make the other person doubt themselves. Emotional blackmail, using guilt trips to control other people. Passive aggressive behavior, indirectly expressing anger or resentment. Being overly critical, constantly finding fault with others, also called nitpicking. Using all or nothing thinking, also called splitting. Seeing situations as either completely good or completely bad. So, what does it look like to be affected by emotionally immature parents? Some signs that you are include feeling like you've never truly belonged to any group, as if you're an outsider looking in. Shutting down your emotions instead of listening to them. Settling for emotional loneliness in relationships because that's what you're used to. Playing whatever role you believe your parents wanted you to play to try and strengthen connection. That is what creates the false self. This is the price you pay to feel connected. Instead of being accepted as your true self, you must be who other people, first your parents and then friends and a spouse, want you to be in order to strengthen connections. You don't believe someone would want to have a relationship with you purely because of who you are. That's why you must always put them first to earn your place. Feeling guilty for feeling sad or down, even if everything on the outside looks good, lacking confidence that others could be interested in you, and feeling like a bother for telling someone your needs. This book can help you verify if you have an emotionally immature parent and if you are also immature as a result of your upbringing. I know I was, and this book helped me see the areas that I needed to work on, and believe me, there's still some work to do. I'll leave info in the show notes for these resources. I'll leave info in the show notes for these resources so you could check them out if you like. Addressing lack of maturity is an important component of the healing process. My therapist once remarked, therapy is the process of growing up. Understanding and attaining maturity can significantly improve your situation.
If you like my content, please choose to follow, subscribe, or provide a rating so I can share this information with more people and you don't miss out on future episodes. If you'd like to send me comments or questions, you can do that through the comments link on the Spotify app. I hope to hear from you. Thank you for joining me. I hope this information is helpful. I look forward to sharing more in the future. Have a wonderfully peaceful day. Till next time.